Come si chiama il tuo ragazzo?
Margherita.
One of the biggest misunderstandings in the history of film hermeneutics is the thesis that Pier Paolo Pasolini's Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom, is primarily a critique of fascism in Nazi-occupied Italy. It isn't. It instead tries to show the parallels between the structures and functions of three systems: the libertarian aristocracy that Marquis de Sade described in his original novel, The 120 Days of Sodom, then fascism in the 20th century a la Hitler and Mussolini, and third, the capitalistic neoliberal consumer culture that was beginning to emerge in the 1970s. Remember that Pasolini was a gay Catholic communist. And one of the main features of all of these systems is that they use instrumental reason as defined by Theodor Wiesengrund Adorno and Max Horkheimer, which results in a joyless and pleasureless society. The system would collapse if the needs of the consumers are fulfilled for good. And the four nameless consumers, the fascists, the libertarians in Salo, truly see everything as commodities. Human bodies, human emotions, and so on. They buy sex slaves and eat their shit, but we see that most of them don't even enjoy that. But as one of them argues, it would be a waste to not use the shit. I mean, they have paid for it, so they have to use it. And that's what instrumental reasoning means to an extent. This total absence of joy at what is essentially supposed to be a sex party also gets shown in the funny parts of the film. The president character is always telling bad jokes, making his colleagues laugh, while the sex slave just stand in silence. The question the film is asking here is, can humor exist as a pure commodity? And the answer seems to be no. At some point, after the same old shit haha is just repeated over and over again, the only thing remaining is deadly boredom. And that's another unjust criticism. Yes, Salo is repetitive and boring to some extent, and that's why it is great. If you would make this movie exciting, it would just become another commodity, making the violence depicted into a spectacle. That's also the reason why there are no character arcs. We are not supposed to feel with the victims. We should never be against the system because we simply sympathize with its victims. And what does the ending mean then? The two boys putting away their guns and starting to dance. Have they broken free of the fascist, neoliberalist, whatever ideology Pasolini is trying to criticize, or have they internalized it to an extent where they don't need guns to oppress anymore? Can you tell the difference? Because I can't, and I think that's the whole point.